everyone. This video we're looking at the Week 5 Monday Night Showdown picks between the Chargers and the Saints in the Superdome. No Michael Thomas for this one. He is out, not even for his ankle injury, for a practice altercation he had with a teammate. Eckler is out for a few weeks. Jared Cook is questionable. Those are the key injury news, and then Mike Williams is also questionable. So that is kind of it for the injury news. Not a lot that we're waiting on. Just Jared Cook and Mike Williams news is going to be pretty important. But all things considered, we kind of have an idea of everybody who's going to be in this slate. So let's get started. As always, appreciate it if you guys would hit the like button on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Pretty wild Sunday with a lot of low-owned guys going off, or like low-owned, if not barely owned guys like Fulgham and Claypool going absolutely bonkers. And then Fanduel still has zeros showing up on their entire site. They're not taking accountability for it. They're just blaming the stat provider, which I get it. It's not their fault, but we pay money to them. We play on their site, hoping for an experience that we did not get yesterday. So they should do the right thing and just give everybody their refund back and still pay out the winners, because that's how it should be. But who knows what they're going to do. I mean, they already posted something on Twitter, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. But anyways, getting into the Showdown slate. I really do like some of the Chargers pieces. With Eckler on the IR, we have Keenan Allen, who's only 14-1 in the captain spot. He is 9,400 at the flex position. He is going to be a huge piece in that offense going up against the Saints. The Saints defense has been bad this season. The cornerbacks have been getting burned. Even when Lattimore was healthy and he was on the field, he missed last week, but he has been struggling so far this season too, giving up just based on his grades on PFF. And Keenan Allen has gotten double-digit targets every single week that Justin Herbert has been the quarterback. Last week he had 8 for 62. Didn't get into the end zone, but he is just going to be the guy that Herbert looks to, especially, minus Eckler once again this week. Then we have Joshua Kelly, who's 8,200. He had 9 carries. It was turned into much more of a passing game, and they couldn't get anything going against the Bucs' tough front seven. So he didn't have much of an impact, and also Justin Jackson is going to start to cut away into his workload a bit as he has gotten healthy now. He got played a bit last week, but neither one impressed much on the ground last week. So I think it's going to be kind of a split. We'll see if Jackson gets... I think Jackson will get a little bit less touches just because he's working his way back still. But I'm not that interested in paying that much for Joshua Kelly. I think I'd much rather go to Eckler or go down a bit to one of the Saints guys. But on the Chargers, it's pretty easy. I love Herbert and I like Eckler, and those are the two that I will be trying to prioritize. I like Henry a bit too, just because the Saints have been getting blown up by tight ends at 7,800. That trio is going to get, especially those two, Allen and Henry, are going to get much of the targets from Herbert. And then last week we saw two guys who only had one catch, but that catch did go for a long touchdown, and that was Jalen Guyton, who had that 72-yard touchdown early in the game. And then you had the guy they picked up off the practice squad, off some team's practice squad, Johnson, who got a 53-yard touchdown. So there's, based on the snap counts, they're not playing a lot. Is Guyton, who plays the second most besides Allen, so he is in play at 4,200 because he's being out on the field for 70+% of the offensive snaps. But I'm not going crazy with either one of those guys. And then and then also you have Parham Jr., who I think is also they get picked up off the practice squad maybe, but he also got 12. He also had a touchdown catch for his lone catch. So 3 guys, 1 catch, 3 touchdowns last week. So pretty impressive stuff from Herbert and that offense. None of the touchdowns went to Eckler, which was sad. I mean, that went to Allen, which was sad. But we'll see what happens on this Monday Night Showdown. Definitely think Allen and Herbert are going to hook up at least once. And then on the Saints side, with no Michael Thomas, we know you want to play Alvin Kamara. You want to do everything you can to play Alvin Kamara, hopefully, if you can, in the captain spot. But if not, definitely want to play him in flex. I mean, without Michael Thomas, he's just going to continue to get the entire focal point of the offense from Drew Brees, get all the attention out of the backfield. He has 9+ catches in 2 of 4 games, almost 100 yards receiving in 2 of 4, getting already into the end zone 7 times through 4 weeks. Just gives you upside that no other player presents on this Showdown slate. If I had to pick between Eckler and Drew Brees, between Kamara and Drew Brees, it would be Kamara 100% of the time. Brees has looked okay this year. He's not looking great. Like, they're not throwing 40 plus times a game. They're relying a bit more on the running game, which makes sense when Brees is getting up there in age now. He hasn't had Michael Thomas for a lot of these games either, so just not a lot of weapons for Brees to throw to besides Kamara out of the backfield. And Sanders has looked okay the last couple weeks, but he got off to a slow start as well. But Brees at 10-4, I guess he looks fine, but I kind of like Herbert on the other side a little bit more. And then Traquan Smith is 7K, Emmanuel Sanders is 56. Both guys play a similar amount of snaps. Smith played a bit more last week, but I don't know if it's worth it for that $1,600 or $1,400 difference. I think I would rather go to Sanders, who is cheaper at 56. And then I think both kickers are in play in this one. You got Will Lutz and Bagley. Bagley at 3,800. Both guys are very good kickers. So far, Bagley made 7 of 9 with a 53 long, and Lutz has made 6 of 6. Both, though, especially the Chargers defense, has been pretty good at stopping opposing teams from scoring touchdowns when they're in the red zone. They have been like the second or third best team in that category so far this season. The Saints haven't been that great. They're basically at the end of the list in that department, but they're facing a young rookie quarterback. We could see both teams get stopped, especially with no Michael Thomas for Brees as a security blanket in this one. I think both kickers are in play. We could see them, both kick a couple field goals, get some extra points. I'm expecting a bit of a higher scoring game here, and that also benefits the kickers. So I like both of them. I definitely like them over the defenses. I'm not that interested in playing either defense. And then like Taysom Hill, he's just a punt play. You don't really know what's going to happen with him. You have Parham Jr. is just a punt play if you play a bunch of lineups. Virgil Green is also just a punt play, not playing a lot, but behind Henry, but maybe he can catch you a touchdown near the goal line, something like that. But I'm not that interested in going that cheap this week. I think I'm going to focus on this slate. I'm going to go focus in the mid-range. So for me, just looking at some lineups to build. We'll start with one with try to get Alvin Kamara captain. That's what everybody's going to try to do. Play Kamara, play Herbert, play definitely Keenan Allen. Those three are the kind of core pieces in my lineup. And then 4,100 left, where you could try to get to Emmanuel Sanders at 5,600. He's down to 3,400 left. You could play Guyton. You could play Justin Jackson. Latavius Murray had a decent week last week. 2 rushing touchdowns. He got his first 2 rushing touchdowns of the year. Especially when it came on the slate where Alvin Kamara was the most owned player on the slate last week. Just funny how that stuff works out. But Murray is in play, I guess. If you wanted to try to be creative and play one of the kickers in badly, if you wanted to play both kickers, you're $1,000 away, so you have to not play Sanders here. But see, if we try to at least get one of the kickers in, and then $3,000, we could just take a shot on like Taysom Hill and leave some money on the table. Do something like that, or play Josh Hill if you want to. But I think this one looks okay. I guess you could do a little bit better if instead of Kamara at captain, you think Keenan Allen's going to have a big game, which I do think he will. He's 14-1 in the captain spot, so you save quite a bit by going to him over Kamara. Just that difference leaves you 59.75. That two, and then if you had Kamara and Keenan Allen, you're down to 56.50. So it's a decent amount of savings that you get, and your lineup looks a lot better if you do something like Keenan Allen at captain, Kamara, Herbert. Then you could still easily get to Sanders, and then you could play Badley and Guyton, or Badley and Lutz, or something like that. So I definitely like the kickers. They kind of fit in the lineup perfectly. They're 38 and 4K, so not even that expensive for either kicker. So I think definitely going to try to, I won't be surprised if I end up with both kickers in my lineup, but definitely will probably have at least one of them. And I guess we could do one with, like, if we wanted to play Brees, although I'm not really feeling it. But if we wanted to play one with the Drew Brees and Herbert in there, we probably going to have to be a bit creative at captain just to make that work. We could take a shot on Emmanuel Sanders at captain at 8,400. Put in Brees, put in Herbert, put in Kamara. Not going to be able to get to Keenan Allen, which sucks, so right off the bat I don't like it. Take Herbert out, put in Keenan Allen. And then you have 4,900 left to put in, like, if you wanted to get to Henry. and then 2,000 left, you could play Taysom Hill or Johnson or something like that. But for me, the core pieces tonight, the core three are Kamara, obviously. Let's see, I'll probably have Keenan Allen at captain, though. Keenan Allen, Kamara, and Herbert are the core three pieces, and then probably one of the kickers who definitely will find their place in my lineup. And then don't see myself going that cheap here. But that's it. Maybe par him if you're feeling it, but just don't think he just didn't get that many snaps last week. I'm not going to chase it, especially if it gets popular because people see that touchdown from last week. But that's it for the DraftKings breakdown. Let's jump over to Fanduel. On Fanduel here, Kamara captain is the guy that you're going to want. At 16K, you're not paying extra for him, so definitely plug him in there. Breeze and Herbert and Keenan Allen look great. I like Herbert and Allen more. Especially I like them both more than Drew Brees tonight. Kelly is 12,000. I'm definitely not getting all the way up there. Sanders is a bit more expensive than Traquan Smith, so you go play Smith over Sanders. You go play Hunter Henry if you want. And then both kickers look fine at 9K and 8,500. Probably get to one of them at least. And then you could take a shot on Justin Jackson. Just only 7,500. He's definitely cheap enough. You could play Latavius Murray or Guyton or somebody like that. There's not that many options on the Showdown slate. You kind of know exactly where the production is going to come from both sides. You could do something like this if you want. Kind of balanced 75. See if there's anybody else at 75 that looks decent. I guess Guyton is like the only other guy, but these three ones again are the core pieces on FanDuel. So that's it. That's the thing as much time FanDuel deserves for a breakdown. The only good thing I'll say is that we could see some overlay here because you could see some overlay, which in case would make it fine to play over there because people are not happy right now. But that's it for me. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. You can hit the like if you enjoyed, and best of luck tonight.